The plain truth is that until your kids reach the age of majority, you're basically responsible for every bad thing they do. They're basically going to come after you if your kids are not toeing the line. And it could be a little bit unpleasant, I would imagine. That's probably not the best reason for saying no, but it is one among other reasons for saying no. And I really, 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 really know, I know KNOW in my heart and in my mind that if anything bad happened to one of your children, and God forbid it was something that couldn't be fixed, but those things do happen, you would, in a heartbeat, go back and say no. You would, let your child try to leave kicking and screaming or what have you. You would do whatever necessary. You would hold whatever privilege, asset, whatever over their heads to keep them from a dangerous circumstance if they were going to lose life or limb. Or, I mean, we're talking drugs, we're talking drugs here. We're trying to keep kids off drugs. They can lose their life. They can lose their capacity to make good decisions. They can become physically harmed. The brain, their mind, the addiction aspect of it, the chance that they could become paralyzed. They could literally lose a limb. I mean, there's so many things. You've seen it. You don't have to go too far to see people who have um, not even necessarily drugs per se, just kids in dangerous situations when they travel in groups. Um, the statistics go way up. You get 4, 5, 6 kids together, the statistics go way up for death, damage, injuries, death. Terrible things happen. So they're better off in smaller groups when they travel. That's a statistical fact. It's really, really is a statistical fact. They're better off in smaller groups when they travel. Of course, they're better off not being out in the wee hours of the morning. They probably, I'm going to guess, are more easily lulled off to sleep when they're tired for a number of reasons, number of different reasons. So the time of day, the weather conditions should all enter into the how many people are going, how far the trip is, what the weather conditions are, the condition of the vehicle. That I personally think that has a lot to do with where your kids go and where they don't go, and how far they go and how many go together, and on and on and on and on. And obviously, you're not going to be able to avoid every single risk, but all those things enter into whether your kids should be able to go. And I don't understand exactly why. I think a lot of us as parents are reluctant to get in there and parent and make the tough decisions and try to guard them. But it only takes one. It only takes one bad decision. It only takes one opportunity. It only takes one snowy road. It only takes one late night. It only takes one intoxicated driver. It only takes one to take your child out. And so I'm begging you to learn how to say no and to do it in a way that there isn't any of this back and forth nonsense. You shouldn't have to go through a 2-hour discussion. Now, having said that, I also feel it's going to be in your best interest as a parent. And you didn't ask me, but I'm telling you anyway. I think it's in your best interest as a parent to find a way to say yes as often as you possibly can. Now, you may have to alter some of the circumstances. You may have to minimize the risk by changing some of the I'm trying to say determining factors, the things, the factors. I can't think of a better word right now, but the details on who's going when, where, how, why. And I'm going to say right now, and I hope you'll remember this, that if your kids are going to like an all-day amusement park or something like that, I personally, it's that category that I was going to do that I haven't done yet, called cheaper than a funeral. I really think that it's wise if you pay the cost of a place for them to spend the night, because they're going to drive home at 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning. and they're going to be tired, and they've been in the hot sun all day, and it's just not a good deal. It's just not a good deal. You really don't want your kids out on the road like that. Let them sleep till 10, 11, 11:30, 12 o'clock the next day. Get up, have some breakfast, and then hit the road at noon. It's just a whole different ballgame. So I just wanted to encourage you to always make that extra effort so that you're not staring in the face of tragedy, and to try to be there when your kids are coming and going, and try to be there when they're ready to talk. And sometimes they're ready to talk at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they're ready to talk until 4:30 in the morning, and that's okay, because it'll be some of the best time, I think, that you can invest in your kids, is to be there when they're ready to talk. If we put an enormous amount of effort into, I'm not just talking about your children, your own family, but in our communities and our neighborhoods and those that we're connected with, you might not ever know the tragedies that you have prevented, but you don't need to know. You don't want to know. You really don't want to know the tragedies that you might have helped to prevent. So please make that extra effort, because these are bright, wonderful young human beings. They need to have a reason to live. They need to have opportunities to be heard. They need to have help in obtaining their goals. And even if you just have brainstorming sessions with them, and let your kids know and your kids' friends know that you are available to chit chat. And brainstorming is something that we all need practice at, and the kids, especially at a young age, need to learn how to do that. Need to learn how to put every possible option on a piece of paper, or at least discuss every possible option, and then how to work your way through those to the most workable 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 or whatever, and then continue to work your way down from there. I'm such a firm believer in that. I really want to tell a story about unconventional ways of doing things, but it isn't going to be on this video, but I'm going to do that sooner or later, because I got a crazy story for you. So, but God bless you, and God bless your children, and this is something I've been wanting to do for a while. If it doesn't get hits, that's totally fine with me, because I just feel it's worth all of our effort to try to help kids prevent some of these things. And I have never been addicted to anything except for probably sugar and chocolate. And I can go a few days without, I don't think I know that I've ever gone a few days without sugar, but I have gone a few days without chocolate, not willingly. I should show you my fistful of Hershey bars here, that I keep that many on hand at all times. That's another story. I may repent for that one of these days. I might change my ways. You never know. So, thank you. Thank you for listening to any and all of these, and I hope that things will be well for you, and that you'll have sunshiny days and the desires of your heart. 8:44.